Two, and we're live. Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of NTAP Presents Campus Care Panel Discussions, an exclusive platform where we get stalwarts in the education industry and where we discuss crucial topics with students or about students. So I know we're a bit early today. We were supposed to come online at 4:30, but guess what? I sent you all messages for 4:30, but I'm so sorry. My team will apologize, and I right now apologize that we are half an hour or maybe let's say 25 minutes early. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. To those who are watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and like the channel. Share this webinar. Also, to those who are watching on LinkedIn, please follow the page. And to those who are listening to this podcast on Spotify, please follow our channel. And anyone else left, yeah, to those who are following us on Twitter, make sure you hit the tweet, you retweet this webinar. And to those who are following us on Instagram, guess what? Thank you so much for showing us your love. We just hit 1 million views yesterday on one single reel. So kudos to that. We have to go more than that. And let's show some love to this webinar as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host Himanshu. I'm the marketing head at Intab, and I have with me today some lovely panelists. So first up, let's welcome Dr. Radhika Srinivasan. Ma'am, would you please introduce yourself?
Namaste, I'm Dr. Radhika Srinivasan, Principal of the Sri Ram Universal School, Palava, Maharashtra.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for introducing yourself. Next up, we have Divya Dubey. Ma'am, would you please introduce yourself?
Hi, this is Divya. I'm from Delhi Tapon School,
Ma'am,
and thank you so much, Intab, for providing this opportunity to share this platform. Thank you so much.
the pleasure is all ours, ma'am. Thank you so much. Next
Could
up,
you hear me?
yes, ma'am, I can hear you. Next up, we have Subina, ma'am, Dr. Subina Chopra. Ma'am, would you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, good evening. I'm Subina Chopra, Director of the Aryan International School, Varanasi, and thank you for having me over once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next up, we have Rama Mohan Reddy, sir. Sir, would you please introduce yourself? You're on mute.
Hi, good evening. So this is Rama Reddy, Principal of Kadapa Public School, Andhra Pradesh.
All right.
Thank you so much, NTAP, for providing this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your valuable time. And last but not the least, we have Jayashree, ma'am. Ma'am is traveling in the car right now. Jayashree, ma'am,
Yeah,
would you please introduce yourself?
yeah, good evening. I'm Mrs. Jayashree, also Jayashree, working for G. Polarity Memorial School, Dilshuk Nagar, Hyderabad.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And how's the weather down there at Hyderabad?
The weather is very hot.
Okay.
It's, I think, 40 degrees today.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's actually very warm. All right, thank you so much, guys. So, our topic for today is to prepare our students, our lovely students, for the future and equipping them with 21st century skills. But what are these 21st century skills? What exactly falls under the purview of 21st century skills? So, my first question would be for Divya ma'am. Divya ma'am, very quickly, treat it as a rapid fire round, if you may. So,
Yes.
my first question would be, what are some of the key 21st century skills that are required for today's students?
So, should I start, sir?
Yes, ma'am, please. Please do.
Yeah, yeah. So mainly 21st century skills, when we talk about, we all know that it is creativity, collaboration, communication, life skills, problem solving skills, decision making, all these skills. But we need to understand that these soft skills are required to enhance the way children think, the way they live, the way we work in this world. So that is more important. So that is the reason we need to focus on these skills.
Right. Very
Yeah.
aptly said. All right. Next up, ma'am, how can our schools and teachers effectively integrate technology, and how in schools basically, and how these digital tools can help you to develop a curriculum for 21st century skills. Subina, ma'am.
Yeah, so what I believe is that since all the every, I mean, since ages back also, the only thing important is our hobby, right? Today in this 21st century, we've forgotten our hobbies because we are so preoccupied with the digital and the media and everything. So we have to bring their focus back to their hobbies, make them explore their own passion and understand what they are good at. So that becomes a skill. And in today's 21st century, any hobby is there is a career in every hobby they have. So we have to just digitalize their hobby. First, they have to recognize what they are good at, hone that skill, and digitalize it. So even like you're speaking so well, you're good at coordinating. So you have
Oh, ma'am, I lost you there for a moment. Subina, ma'am.
yes.
Could you please repeat that answer because I lost you there for a moment? You
Okay.
you were actually saying good things about me, and I lost you over there.
No, so I said your hobby is to talk and converse and meet people. So you're making a career of it. So what I'm trying to tell you is we have to understand, explore our hobbies because we've forgotten our hobbies in this world of media and digitalize our hobbies. And because we've got so involved in the mobiles and everything, so I
Hmm.
personally feel is
Oh. All right. I guess we have.
everything that you have.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I lost you again there for a while, but it's okay. We understood that we need to digitalize, or we need to find a way to digitalize the hobby of an individual, and how we can bring the same thing, and or maybe to raise a better citizen, you can say, and to raise a responsible citizen, which can also add value into the economy of the country. So that's a very good valid point. I would have to say that kids are already doing it, because if you go on Instagram, I see kids who are 10 years old and 11 years old. They know much more than us. I feel it's a challenge for me, and I feel obviously I feel like a noob.
I'd like to interrupt over here, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Children know much about what they are doing now, according to the digital world, what they are putting it into practice. But is it used in a right fashion, or are they using it for the upgradation of their academic knowledge, or for what purpose are they using? Yes, the tools are given to them, but we need to see the purpose, how they're using those tools which we are equipping them with.
Right. Ma'am, very honestly, I personally believe that if we want to understand the psychology, then we also need to have a broader perspective of things.
That's it. That's it.
Right. All right. Radhika, ma'am, what role do experiential learning opportunities such as project based learning and internships play in preparing students for the future? Because these are also very important, and I'm specifically want to focus on internships or maybe apprenticeship.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Himanshu, and thank you for this question. I think it's very pertinent that we, as educators and heads of institutions, take a long, hard look at what is happening in our classrooms, because what is needed by the industry and what we are doing in schools, there is no meeting of minds. So I think it's very important as heads of institutions to be in constant connect with industry. It's very sad that having so much of talent, especially in India, I think the World Economic Forum and so much data and statistics is available to show that India has talent, but many of our graduates, postgraduates, are unemployable. They do not have work ready skills. So, what are we doing wrong? We need to take a long, hard look. And yes, industry internships or even shadowing So at the Sriram School, we have this very interesting program which is called the Student Advisory Program, which deals with these kind of skills right from grade six upwards. So we realized that students need a lot of hand holding, and on the other hand, they're also very clear in their head what they want to do. I have a bunch of kids, and I'm sure all of the educators and heads of schools here will agree that everyone wants to become a social media influencer and a YouTuber.
Right.
And there's nothing we can say that is going to deter them from that sphere. Many of the students in our schools, as young as 10 and 12, have their own YouTube channels, and they know how to get an audience, and they know how to pitch. So I think let's give them those skills. Let's strengthen their hands.
Very aptly said. And dwelling more on that, or maybe adding more to that point about employability skills, and or maybe being not being technically challenged. Narayan Murthy, and we all know who Narayan Murthy is. Narayan Murthy sir said that youth of India is at such a terrible situation that 90% of the people who come for the interviews and 90% of the people who are passing out from colleges, they do not have employability skills. That is the gap which we have right now. And apart from that, when we talk about kids want to be YouTube influencers or social media influencers, then I know people who were working as VPs in banks, bankers, and in fintech. They have given up their career and they have become successful YouTubers. Give an example of Flying Beast. He was a pilot, his wife was a pilot, and they both are doing pretty well for themselves, right? So, but what exactly they're doing, there should also be a check on that, because if you go on Instagram and see what kind of content that is being generated, it is totally garbage as well. So, Jayashree ma'am very aptly also mentioned that there needs to be a check and balance for each and everything. All
Yeah.
right. Rama sir, my next question is for you. How can educators, such as yourself, they can foster critical thinking, problem solving, creativity in students to, prepare them for ever changing future? How can you actually practically do that? Sir, you're on mute. You're on mute, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Actually, as we are talking about 21st century skills, to be honest to say that these are the not new, these are the old ones. But especially in post-COVID situation, these have come into limelight. When we talk about critical thinking, when we talk about collaboration or creativity or even problem solving. That. So first we need to understand about what is critical thinking and why it is important. Remember, the critical thinking is increasingly becoming very important for each and everyone's education. But thing is that there is a challenge faced by the educators while teaching the students. Okay, it is not an easy thing to make a student you do like this, you don't do like this. But it's very important to make them to uh, think on their own. That's important. That. So for that purpose, we need to ask some questions. When you go to when a teacher or an educator go to a class, so we need to give a space to the students to tell their own answers. For example, in our childhood, people say that what A for apple. Okay, apart from apple, what can the other words you can say that? Some people may say that airplane, some people may say that animal, some people may say that something else. So it means we have to give some scope for the children to think on their own. That is very, very important. So automatically develops their creativity also there. So we need to ask some questions. And at the same time, we need to encourage or motivate to express on their own that. Say, even though they say wrong answers, whatever it is that. So we need to encourage. We should not discourage or demotivate their thinking. We need to encourage their thinking. At the same time, we need to make them in groups. So you have to give a small task for them, and we need to say you have to work on your own. That come up with your own ideas, come up with your own strategies to solve this problem or to solve this a question or something like that. Even though it is a theory part of that, that's important. And at the same time, we need to encourage the students to express the different views. So we need to listen to them. And at the same time, whatever the students express their views or points, so we need to connect. We need to connect and we have to come to a conclusion in that. And at the same time, we need to applaud the creativity of the students also there. So whenever a student tells something in a different way that, okay, so we need to applaud, we need to praise them there. So that what will happen is the confidence of the students will get increased. So that it will increase the level of interest in different topics. Right.
Right.
So that so we need to inspire them that, and at the same time we need to brainstorm in groups. Then we have to come to a conclusion that. So
Right.
these are the different strategies or different things where we need to encourage the students to express on their own, along with the critical thinking or creativity or etc.
All right. Very quickly, now my last question to each and every one of you, one by one, would be one key tip you would like to give, beginning from Radhika ma'am, for students and for educators, how they should do, what they should do when it comes to preparing them students for 21st century. One key tip for students and one for educators as well.
So I think for students, I would definitely encourage them to have cognitive flexibility, as in to allow their mind to explore as much as possible, and take up all the opportunities that are offered in school,
Hmm.
whether it is a speaking opportunity, whether it's acting, or whether it is painting or whatever, because very clearly the students who are in our schools now are going to have, on an average, 4 careers in their lifetime. They're not going to stick to one career for more than 10 years. So cognitive flexibility is what I would say that students would need. For educators and also for heads of institutions, integrated teaching and collaborative teaching, because we just can't teach in the boxes that we are teaching. I'm a science teacher and I will never ever know anything about literature. That sadly is not happening, because the world of work is changing so dramatically. So let's look at possibilities of integration and collaborative teaching.
All right. Subina ma'am, very quickly to you.
Yeah, so I totally agree with ma'am what she said. That's what I always thought, that integrated thinking, collaborative thinking, and we are not teachers anymore. We are facilitators. So we have to work as team. Educators plus the students have to work together, and more of research-based teaching that we have to
Hmm.
inculcate and bring confidence, and also the emotion level we have to raise of the students. We as facilitators have to raise the emotion level, so that and help them do a lot of research work, connect the IQ and the EQ. That's very, very important in today's world. So as teachers, we have to make as educators, we have to make sure that they are confident in what they're doing, they're confident in what they're saying, they're confident in what research work or the project they're doing, and whatever they present in front of the classroom, we have to bring it to a
Uh, Again, there is some issue with the internet, I guess. All right, very quickly, we'll move to Divya, ma'am.
Yeah. So, am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am, loud and clear.
Yeah. Yeah. So first, for an educator, I feel like as we spoke about experiential learning, we spoke about digital literacy and all. One has to have. So I feel like for with all of these things, we should have a value addition. For example, if we say that photosynthesis process, when we say experiential learning, we say that that they need to do the gardening. That hands-on experience will give them that proper understanding. That is very much true. But unless they have a reverence for that plant or a tree, they will not be able to, develop that sensitivity. Otherwise, as they grow, they know that this is what happens through the plant. These are the products that we get from it. But they cut the plant, they cut the trees. So this is what is happening. So they need to have that reverence for what they are doing. So I feel like, as an educator, we need to develop that that value addition, whatever we are learning, whatever the children are learning, even though it's like animal world or the history or anything, why we are learning that has to integrate it. So that has to be emphasized. And for a child, I feel like one has to have in Bhagavad Gita also it was there like Shraddhavan Labhate Jnana. So once Shraddhavan Labhate Jnana. Yeah. So if they have Shraddha, that is faith or interest in doing whatever they do, so they definitely get the knowledge about it. So one has to develop that faith, yeah, and interest levels in in teaching and all. And digital literacy, it's really beautiful that you know,
Divya, you also have internet
now
issues.
as as I understand. Sorry,
Ma'am,
is
you
it
also,
audible? Yeah,
yeah, ma'am, now you're audible.
yeah. So fine. So what I feel is we need to pay attention to what our students are excited about. So then we can shape our lessons accordingly.
Right.
So that's what I feel. Yeah, we need to add
Very,
value
yeah,
to these.
very well mentioned points. When you spoke about value addition, according to me, what I could fathom by it that practical applications of whatever we are teaching in the real world. What exactly is the application? And just heads up for all you educators who are there with me right now, who's those who are watching us online as well. Uh, in a recent survey, the attention span of a particular student has dropped from 2 minutes to 15 seconds. So if you don't capture the attention in the first 15 seconds of the students, then everything is ऊपर से जाएगा. All right, Jayashree ma'am, very quickly to you.
Yeah, I would like to say that for the students, they have to be given every liberal chance for them for every activity what they do. When a child is coming approaching their mentor, the child with any small idea need to be upgraded and guided by the mentors. And for the mentors have to upgrade themselves to see like which different methodology can be adopted for the students in different ways because we have a class of 35, we have different students with different mentality. So a teacher should understand each and every child's mindset and how the child will be able to approach and what answer can be given to them. So the teacher has to be educated on these things and she should be guided first to give the guidance to the children in the classroom.
Right. Very quickly, Rama sir, you're on mute.
Yes, sir.
Your one tip for student as well as for educator.
Yeah, especially for the educator, the main, I always suggest that we need to understand the students. So we need to give scope, a type of freedom or something like that to express their views. So we should not put down their ideas or something like that. So we need to give the space for the students to express on their own. And at the same time, so we need to give a type of freedom to do whatever they want. So at the same time, we need to ask questions. We need to keep an eye on those students, what they are doing. So what do you want? What you are going to do that? How you are doing? What is the final outcome after doing so and so this? So once a student understands this, then it becomes easy for them to learn. And at the same time, it becomes easy for the facilitators to teach also. That's what I believe in that.
All right, very well said. This is what we also do, basically. Whenever we go to, pitch a new idea or something to the management, they also say, "What do you want? Why do you need it? And what would be the outcome of it?" So that is the basic rule of
And
business.
then you make it complete.
Yeah, that is the basic rule of business as well. That what would be the ROI of it? So that's very well put, sir. All right, thank you all the lovely educators for joining us, for tuning in as well. Our webinar is live right now, so you can watch it, and we're gonna keep the edited copy as well as we're gonna upload all the reels on Insta. So do follow us. आपके नीचे यहाँ पर आ रहा होगा Instagram का handle. Thank you, Radhika ma'am. Thank you, Rubina ma'am. Thank you, Divya ma'am. Thank you, Jayashree ma'am. Thank you, Rama sir, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you
It's
so much.
beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody. I really enjoyed a lot, and I
Thank
hope
you
you
so
had a
much.
lovely time as well. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you
God
so
bless
much.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.